All right, this is a screen recording for how I made 400 bucks in 14 minutes. So right here, I figured that the bias would be bullish because we had such a massive opening range gap right here. 414 on last Friday up to 9:30 on Tuesday, and so I figured that off the bat we'd be bullish, but we were going to go down and sweep some trailed stops because since right here, which was the low of the day thus far, we hadn't had any really like good trailed stops. None of these have been swept, except we went down and swept some liquidity and trend line liquidity right here. So I figured that we go and sweep some trailed stops before going up, and right in here on the 5-second chart, right here, I noticed that typically we like to leave relative equal highs at the open of 9:30. So I went and drew out event horizon right here between these two highs. And I noticed that we went up and we left it pretty rapidly. And we're going to leave these relative equal highs. And before we do sweep out pre-market high, pre-session high at 9:30, we're going to definitely get some trailed stops, minimum these and potentially more down here. So I shorted, let me check. It was a really quick short, just from right here to here, and that's an hour, 90-minute, an hourly order block. I also noted we would have to, right here. I don't know if this is it actually. Yeah, that's it, I think. So right here, we had 79% retracement, exactly on equilibrium of that order block. So that was a heavy draw for price. And if we're gonna reverse, so if we went higher to the relative equal highs, these, then we still have to hit that no matter what. And if we're gonna go lower after tapping this, some type of retracement, maybe sweep these out, I figured that best time to do it would be right here. So no matter what, whether the bias is higher or lower, we have to hit this portion, that area. So I went in here, and I was a really quick short, and it was before 9:30, so it wasn't as, I guess, like it wasn't a big trade. I did, because it's on the low time frame, I did do 5 micro contracts. So it was just from right here. That's the low of the order block down to this low, because I knew at minimum we'd have to sweep it. Very, very bare minimum. And then anyways, that was like a precursor to when I actually traded. Then right here we had this 30-minute fair value gap from pre-session, which I marked out. And on the 5-second chart, we had these relative equal highs, and we had swept these minor trailed stops. So I figured we'd probably go and sweep them out before we go and sweep out more serious trailed stops, which is right here. And once we got a reaction off of this, then this IFEG right here, I longed off of this to here, which was nice. You see the execution labels right here, up to right here, with about 5 micro contracts, and I took one off right here because I wasn't comfortable with losing. It was like minus 170 or something. Actually, no, I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but I didn't want to lose that much. So, and then we used the same level right here that we used right here in my first trade, which was, I forget what this thing called. It's like that black hole word, event horizon. We used event horizon. The bodies couldn't reach above consequent encroachment of it. And where was my next trade? Oh yeah, I waited for price to go down to get the trailed stops. Right down here. And I used the same concept right here, event horizon, between these two lows. And we left these relatively equal, which I was counting on, because I figured we go up and treat or sweep these, which are really obvious buy side. So if we didn't want to go up to this thing, which was a draw, which is why I didn't hold up to here, or no, I did hold up. No, I didn't hold up to there. I figured that this low is a draw, right, for trail stops, and we had really easy buy side liquidity because anyone that was in shorts right here, and when they got in these shorts, retail traders, they're going to trail their stops right here. It's really obvious for them. Really clean relative equal highs, well, almost relatively equal, but it's good enough for them. So, and then we had this massive fair value gap right here. So down here, off of this order block, or no, it was like near here or something like that. Near this order block, the 5 second, I longed right here. Looks like on this candle. And I guess I thought I was in too big of a position, so I exited 2 micros because I entered for 5, exited 2, so now I have 3 micros remaining. And I think it looked like this. And I might have had moved SL to here or something. And then moved it up pretty quickly. Like right up to here. After my first partial was hit. And I knew that before we went down and swept that, smart money had to, if that is the bias, smart money had to sweep these trailed stops. Minimum. Because retail could also be profiting on this and they don't want retail to profit off this. So I had 1 partial right here. So that's a third of my position. And then my next partial was at this 30-minute fair value gap. Right here. And that was another third of my position. And then the full take profit got hit right here, which was just the rest of my position, which is 1/3. And then that was it for the winning trades. I believe over here I tried to short off of this this hourly order block because I figured we had swept this and we got close enough to that. I wanted it to hit that, but I probably shouldn't have shorted because we didn't hit this perfectly. But it's whatever. I shorted off this IFEG, like right here, somewhere around here, and it went and got stopped. Before I got stopped, I removed some of my positions, so I only had 2 contracts on. See, I shorted for 3, removed 1, I got full stop right there, which is only a little bit. Then I have a limit order right here for higher time frame trading. And right here, I don't remember why I shorted. I think I just shorted. No, I bought. Oh wait, no, I bought like right here, my SL like right here, because there was a discrepancy between MNQ and NQ, where we had on MNQ we hadn't swept this on MNQ. This is MNQ, but we had swept it on NQ. So whenever it does that, typically smart money will want to go and sweep them regardless. So it's like that was really easy one, but my SL was just too close, and I shouldn't have taken it because it was kind of a dumb trade. It wasn't really my model. So anyways, and that's it. And total P&L was 401 profit.